Hello everyone, this is Ioni, and recently I was thinking of how to make keep inventory actually punishable, because in maps with keep inventory, say in Hypixels maps, death becomes absolutely just a matter of backtracking, and I didn't like that. I wanted there to be some sort of punishment to death, like I don't know, delete a random item or maybe reduce all the XP or something like that. So but to do that, we needed to figure out a way to detect player death, and which is what brings us to this video of Redectricity 20 Player Death Detector. This works for both in single player and multiplayer, and I have this little here parkour test to lava parkour, obviously one of the most annoying thing in Minecraft ever of all time, and we're gonna see how this thing works. Oh no, I died. Did I just die on my own parkour test? Oh wow, that is just embarrassing. Okay. Yes, I made the first jump. Make the second jump. Oh man. Again, seriously? Yes, seriously. What do you expect? It's hard. Oh man, the first jump again. Come on, we're trying to make a video here. Yeah. This is it. This is all there is to it. This thing is the death detector. And this piston is a simple gravel piston clock that just pushes the command block into this, pushes the redstone block for this to power these command blocks to make that. So let me just change my game mode. Alright, so how this works, now I have done a search on Google. Sadly, I did not find this exact design. I was for sure that this is a known concept, that someone had made this video, but apparently no one did. So how this works is, there is a scoreboard. It utilizes a scoreboard function, which I'm calling death check. So it's just a death check with the objective type as death count. So it counts up every time you have a death. Hold on. Alright, so I've enabled command block output, so this should be this should be helpfuller, yes. Hold on, let me just so this is a death test. It simply shifts me up 24 blocks up, insta kill. So what it does is it sets a death check for 0. So what this thing is doing is trying to set a death check of 0 if the nearest player has a minimum death check value of 1. So every time you die, the death count, aka the death check objective on the scoreboard, goes up by 1, and that immediately sets this command block to set your value to 0. Otherwise, if your value is currently like 0 now, it doesn't work. Hold on, let me enable the display here. Alright, so as you can see, the moment we increase it, it decreases. The moment you increase it, we decrease it. And that is basically how this works. It's as simple like that, but it is, and using this signal you can do whatever. I just got this like a counter to select how many times I counted, how many times I died, do certain things accordingly. In a adventure map, if a player dies, you can TP them to like a hell type of world, so they'll have to fight their way back, something like that. This doesn't require, as you can see, this doesn't require spawn point manipulation in any way. Your spawn point can be set to a bed in a adventure map or wherever you like. This one works all the freaking time. Just need to enable the death check at the start. I don't know if scoreboards are saved in the level.dat. I think they are, but I'm not sure. So if they are, you can just enable it at first and then just have this, or just have this thing create the counter, the death check objective at the start of the map. Simple as that. Okay, now this is the SP trick. Basically, you just try to set it to 0 and say whatever you like, or whatever. But this is the MP one. For multiplayer, it's a little bit different, because in multiplayer we can have multiple players dying at nearly simultaneously. So how do you detect that? Because say when it's checking for @p, which is minimum of 1, and setting that to 0, so after that there needs to be another score check, because otherwise this @p can be another person who is different from the guy who actually died, because multiplayer has that problem. That's that isn't a problem in single player. So what it does in multiplayer is simply sets a value that isn't obtainable, say -2, that cannot be obtained in game in any way, other than using a counter to decrease, other than using a command block to decrease it. So then it ensures that it's only talking to the guy with the minimum value of -2, maximum value of -2. So it's gonna be only that guy who just died. And then after you're done doing whatever you want to do, use a repeater here, because say command will power a comparator if it works once. So use a repeater to transport the redstone signal, and then just reduce the same methods, the same check for minimum of -2, maximum -2, just set that to 0. That's how it works. So as an example, alright, so now this clock is running. I'm gonna set the increase here, and we're gonna see what happens. So it scores a set of my it sets a score of -2, then tells me that I died even with the help of my friends, or thanks to my friends. Hint hint to PvP. And then sets it back to 0. So that's how it works, and that is all there is to it. This is actually pretty simple, and I'm for sure that this has been used in some PvP maps, but I did not see this design at all on the internet. So there you go. This is a player death detector, and that's all there is to it. This is extremely simple and extremely small, and I just figured it out yesterday on my way to college while sitting in the bus. Yeah, that's how I figured it out. My first attempt was to decrease. I thought the score doesn't go below 0. Sadly, I thought I figured out that that's not the case, but then on the way to, I figured that was a bust. I even wrote in Twitter as such, but then I figured out how to do it, which is awesome. So you can use this effect in some really neat way in your custom maps. For instance, some game has that invulnerability effect after you die and respawn. Well, you can have that. Say for like 3 seconds you will be invulnerable with resistance 4 or 5, I mean. Again, in maps like Hypixel, where death is simply a backtracking, you can ensure that the player does lose something. Maybe give them hunger for a few seconds, so they have like a half hunger bar and they'll have to heal. Or maybe give them like a short poison effect, so they go down by 2 or 3 hearts, so they'll end up at 7 or 8 hearts, which isn't too much, but it does ensure some sort of penalty. You can use this to some great effects. Just think about your own design. This can be really good in custom maps. But other than that, this has been Oni. I don't want to increase the video beyond its the length that I have already used, because I've already explained what it is. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you again on the next video. Till then, this has been Oni, and see you later. Bye.